Dragonfly, elegant, graceful, and a symbol of transformation, of new beginnings, hope, love, and happiness. Sue, may this cherished emblem go with you to be your totem and a sign of our love in this moment of change. With gratitude, you filters. Never mind first year. Thank you very much. Yes, we talked about that. The things I have learned planning this.
You can almost put it in your purse. Yeah.
But it has two themes, and one of them, of course, is music. So when you look at it close, you'll see that every square has some music in it somewhere, and the music makes a happy path, certainly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is a little riddle for Diane.
Our extraordinary back person.
It's simple gifts. See, I told you to get it right away. That is great. She got it.
Sing it. Tis the gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free. Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, to be in the valley of love and delight. Diane Woodruff, in appreciation for all her musical gifts shared with so many at First UU, with much gratitude from all of us. Thank you. This is great. Oh my gosh.
Good morning, and welcome to this virtual gathering of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond. My name is Suzanne Short, and I am pleased to be serving this community on its board of directors. Thank you for taking time to honor our connections in the ways that we have available until we are able to meet again in person, which hopefully will be soon. If you are a visitor here today, we are so glad that you found us. We welcome you and thank you for spending time with us and hope you will return again soon. Our church was begun in 1833 as a liberal Christian community. We are now a community of many faith journeys and beliefs, guided not by a creed, but by a covenant to uphold shared principles marked by love, respect, and justice. Our faith community continues to work together to put our UU principles and values into action to build beloved community and to serve the purpose of justice for all here in the Richmond community. We welcome you to live these principles with us as you continue your spiritual journey. If you are a visitor here today or new to Unitarian Universalism and would like to learn more about our faith or our community, we invite you to check out our website, join our Facebook group, or reach out to us by email at membership@richmonduu.org. We hope you will join us at our virtual coffee hour following this morning's service in a separate Zoom link available in Saturday's email and on our Facebook site. Coffee Hour provides a time for us to connect with fellow church members, and if you are new to First UU or a visitor here today, an opportunity for us to get to know you better and for you to get to know us. I would also encourage church members and visitors to tune in 5 to 10 minutes early before the Sunday morning services in order to catch the rolling announcements. I would also encourage you to check out our various versions of First News Weekly. This is a good way to stay informed about important happenings and activities in our church community. Again, welcome to this joyful Sunday, made sacred by all of us being together, worshiping, and sharing our time with each other.
I'm thinking about you retiring, Diane, but you're not really retiring. You're just going off in usual fashion, skipping and dancing to the beat. And this time, the beat is Brahms.
We are Jeff and Lorna Clark, and we've been members of the congregation for over 30 years.
And we've also sung in the Singers for 30 years, and we are delighted to be here for Diane, who we have been fond of for all these years, and of course now for Reverend Sue. And now, we gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs.
We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Life is a gift for which we are grateful.
We gather in community to celebrate the glories of the mysteries of this great gift.
Welcome to a celebration of the new chapters of the lives of Reverend Sue Cinnamon and Ms. Diane Woodruff. Welcome. Do you know how much time these folks have put into congregational life? Oof, you have no idea. The congregations in Woodstock and Bloomington, Illinois, knew Diane's gifts before she came to Virginia and ultimately to First UU in Richmond. Reverend Sue started with the Washington Ethical Society, went to River Road Church, then Fountain Street Church, followed by Evanston, Illinois, and then to the Southeast region as a program specialist before she joined us. So when these two women step away from congregational life as leaders, as ministers, as those who have revealed to us both spiritual and musical truths, we are losing over a half century, actually almost 75 years of common service. Whew, that's a lot. So it's our job to say goodbye, farewell. We've loved having you here, to Reverend Sue as she sails over the ocean in one of those aluminum birds one day soon when her visa comes. And we will establish new relationship with Diane Woodruff as she remains a member of our congregation, but not the music director. So don't ask her questions about that. We want to celebrate two women who have changed our ways of seeing, being, living, singing, and expressing our spiritual selves. Welcome to this time of worship.
I met Reverend Sue Cinnamon over 15 years ago when I began doing work with the Southeast District. Many of the ministers that I had met in my early days as a Unitarian Universalist led congregations as parish ministers. But in her work in the district, she was called upon to support many, many congregations, in particularly in the area of faith development. Her cutting-edge approach to religious education opened my eyes to the immense possibilities that existed in our faith, particularly in the areas of social justice and anti-racism, multiculturalism, and anti-oppression. Beyond her deep knowledge and unique approach to learning, her quiet, non-anxious presence and subtle sense of humor set an example for me and those who worked on the district board. Just imagine my delight when several years later she came to serve at First UU in a similar capacity for our own congregation. To have her presence in our faith home has truly been a blessing, and we will forever be grateful for all she has continued to do for Unitarian Universalism. I'm also happy to know she has a spare bedroom at her home in England, so I'm going to plan on tea and crumpets one of these days not too far away.
Hi, I'm Annette Marquis. In 2007, just a year after I became district executive for what was then known as the Thomas Jefferson District of the Unitarian Universalist Association, the Reverend Sue Cinnamon joined me as the Director of Lifespan Faith Development for the district. Sue came with unparalleled experience in lifespan faith development, and what impressed me from the beginning was that those were not just words to her. That was not just a job title. She believed with her whole heart in the importance of lifespan faith development. She believed then, as she believes now, that it is incumbent on each of us to explore, expand, and deepen our spiritual understandings of ourselves and the world around us. Not just when we're children, but throughout our lifetimes, up until the moment of our deaths. And if Sue had her way, I would imagine probably even beyond. Sue has long advocated for multi-generational worship to create vibrant, spiritual, deepening religious communities because she understands the value of spiritual interaction between children, youth, young adults, adults, and elders. Sue has long understood that sustainable justice work requires that we all find ways for spiritual growth and renewal. It's what gives us the patience, resilience, and persistence to stay with and in the work for justice. Through her work in the Unitarian Universalist Association and with UU congregations and other progressive faith communities, Sue has become a national leader in bringing spirituality into congregational life. With the Center for Congregational Spirituality, which she co-founded with the Reverend Phil Lund, she is recognized for growing congregations, not just in numbers, but in the spiritual depth they offer their members. Sometimes when you work with somebody every day, you don't always recognize the extraordinary gifts they bring. First UU has been incredibly fortunate to have the services of Reverend Sue these past few years. She has been an advocate for congregations to do the hard work of spiritual deepening. She has challenged us to look at ourselves and our community. She brought with her and maintained an expectation that we will work together to be better than we can be by ourselves. Sue will be missed for many reasons, but most importantly, in my opinion, is the knowledge and wisdom Sue brings to us for how to grow spiritually, as individuals, as families, as a diverse, anti-racist, anti-oppressive, multicultural, and multi-generational congregation to become beloved community. Reverend Sue has been a tremendous asset to First UU, but it's important to me that everyone understand that her gifts and influence didn't begin or end with us. Sue will long be remembered for her passion to make all UU congregations and other progressive faith communities centers for spiritual growth, so that those who categorize themselves as spiritual but not religious will find community with others who understand the importance of a deep spiritual center to our lives. Thank you, Sue, for all you've brought to First UU, for all you've given Unitarian Universalism, and for all you have yet to give. I will miss you.
One of my first volunteer activities at First UU many years ago was to serve on the personnel committee. Our congregation was a lot smaller then, but there was always a choir director. Choir and music directors are artists, often with artistic temperaments. We had several directors in my early days, until a lovely woman came to our congregation and we somehow convinced her to become our choir director after we experienced another vacancy. Having been a music teacher, she was well suited to the ups and downs of the congregational temperaments. As a Unitarian Universalist with a lovely voice and choral conducting training, she ended up being the perfect fit for this congregation. In her years with us, she has expanded her role in so many ways. and brought us so many gifts, from helping plan worship to becoming a tech expert, quite frankly. Beyond those skills, she has dedicated herself to introducing us to music from multiple traditions, and her broad connections in the music community have benefited us in so very many ways. Diane will not be in the tea and crumpets business going forward, so we will warmly welcome her in her new role as congregant. Yesterday, we presented Sue and Diane with lovely leather-bound journals on behalf of the board and congregation as part of a small token of our immense appreciation for both of their service to this community.
Good morning, everyone. I began accompanying the choir here at First UU over a decade ago, under the direction of our marvelous Diane Woodruff. And one of the first pieces we ever did was a piece entitled The Road Home by Stephen Paulus. I immediately fell in love with it. Its close-knit harmonies, the beautiful resolutions, the powerful words. The second verse I'll read to you now. After wind, after rain, when the dark is done, as I wake from a dream in the gold of day, through the air there's a voice calling from far away. There's a voice I can hear that will lead me home. I now offer this to Diane to say that you have made this place a home for me, and so many others, through your talents and gifts and kindness and love. And this will always, always be your home, even if the road is taking you somewhere else now. Thank you so much for everything you've done, Diane. You're marvelous.
the Reverend Sue Cinnamon and Diane Woodruff are two of the most highly regarded people here at First Unitarian Universalist and throughout our Unitarian Universalist Association. And when I think about why they both are respected by their peers, the congregants they serve, and their colleagues, it all comes down to this. Sue and Diane, you treat others with dignity and respect. And we all have heard the saying, to get respect, you must give it. In the years that I've had the honor of working with you two extraordinary colleagues, you both have most definitely earned my respect, not only because of your stellar reputations in the ministries of faith formation, spiritual direction, and music leadership, not because of your status as leaders in your fields, but because of these few simple things. And you both know how I like to keep things simple. So the first thing that comes to mind is dependability. When Diane and Sue would say that they would do something, you can always count on it getting done. I always knew that if I went to Sue to ask for a resource to use for a sermon or for a RE class that I was teaching, she would not only give me the title of an article or a book to read, but without fail, I would find in my inbox a plethora of articles, some from the New York Times, others from John Roberto, posting from Facebook, theological reflection, or report from a renowned expert on the subject that I was researching. And there have been times when I would even find books on my desk that were must read. So you made sure that I had whatever I needed in preparation to give an excellent sermon or have a successful RE class. And I knew when it would be time to plan for a worship service, I could count on Diane coming to my office weeks in advance, asking if I had a theme for the sermon that I was going to preach, and had I given any thoughts to the music I wanted to use in the service. Diane, it is now time for a true confession. During my early years here at First UU, you would come to me weeks in advance with your legal pad and towel, asking me what would be my preaching theme. And you knew that there were times when I didn't have a clue. I would tell you that I would just wait on the Holy Spirit to give me a sign. And I could tell by the expression on your face that you were probably thinking, I don't know about waiting for the Holy Spirit, but you better have come up with something real fast because we need to plan for this service. But you were so gentle and patient with me, and I can count on you to find that song that would fit perfectly in the worship service and would help me rock my sermon. Sue and Diane, whenever our staff and I would call on you, whenever we need you, we can always count on you being there for us and having our backs. The next simple thing that I respect about you two is your humility. Now, we all know that there are some gifted, intelligent, and talented people who have egos as large as this planet. And we also know that we could not do our jobs as ministers or music directors without an ounce of a healthy ego. But Sue and Diane, despite your vast knowledge and renowned expertise, you two are among the most humble people that I know. And I knew I didn't have to deal with two divas. So you see, humility is not about being passive or self-effacing. On the contrary, expressing humility shows that we have a clear perspective, that we are self-aware. And you both have an innate ability to recognize your limitation, which in my opinion is an admirable trait. And to be quite honest, because of your humble spirits, it has made it a joy to collaborate with the both of you as we serve this ministry. Your spirit of humility has enabled you to ask others for their input. And as colleagues, it showed me that you are open to entertain some of my ideas. When I would bring an idea to either one of you, Diane, for instance, if I wanted the singers to sing a particular gospel song, or Sue, when I would bring to you an idea for a minister's present class, you both were always willing to listen and were sincerely interested in what I brought to the table, even if the Holy Spirit led me to it. And so in the years that we have served this congregation, I have not once heard either of you brag about how great you were or how knowledgeable you were about your area of expertise. I never heard you brag about how many degrees you had or what prestigious university you attended. You both let your work and your service to this ministry speak for itself. And it is undeniable how loud your ministry has spoken to this church and how your gifts to this congregation has transformed us. The final simple thing that comes to my mind when I think about the things that I respect about you two, it is your spirit of compassion. When we had our staff luncheon a couple of weeks ago, Reverend Jeanne asked a group of us to give fun facts about each one of you. And when it became Jerry's time to speak, he made this profound statement that has continued to resonate with me until this day. He said that you both had great spirits. Sue and Diane, you are among the most compassionate people that I know. You give so much of yourself to this community, and you genuinely care for each other, for others. Sue, you always let me know whenever there's a pastoral care concern in our congregation that I need to be aware of. And Diane, I have seen you marshal the troops to come to the aid when there was a member of the singers in need. I have witnessed both of you wrap your arms around our colleagues when they were experiencing trouble and gently wiping away their tears. And you both know how much a crier that I am. And you both have wiped away a few of my tears. So I appreciate the care and patience that you have shown me through the years when I would come to our staff meetings, ranting and raving about why our black siblings were being shot and killed by the police, or the 1,000 times I would constantly vent in staff meetings about my disgust with the racial injustices in our country and within the Unitarian Universalist Association. Your sincere compassion and care have helped me make it through these last few years, and your kindness, your empathetic ear, and your pastoral care during the COVID pandemic have also immensely helped this congregation, especially in the previous 18 months, as we struggle with how to do church in a new way. Your compassion and care for our congregants have helped ensure that this congregation stayed connected, while so many other congregations of all faiths in this country has fallen apart. So yes, my beloved Diane and Sue, throughout your many years of stellar, esteemed, dedicated, and devoted service to this congregation and our faith community, you both have earned respect from our congregants, our peers, and our colleagues, because you both have most graciously and lovingly given respect to all of us. You know the saying, to get respect, you must give respect. My friends, Diane and Sue, you have my most utmost respect.
We're gonna sing a song for you so you won't forget we're here. So take a seat and listen, and we'll be
us for a long time, waving hands to urge us on. And we hope you don't have leaders cramp from waving for so long. You stretched us and you bent us like pretzels on a stick, and you got the best out of us all who didn't sing a lick. Always take the high road, for it is wide and long, for it will truly lead you to the land of quiet songs.
You used me as a bassist and I learned to sing along. Once you heard what I could do, you let me sing my songs.
I played so many instruments, though most of them aren't fresh. I play piano for your songs and I give it all my best.
Always take the high road, for it is wide and long, for it will truly lead you to the land of quiet songs.
I sing your songs with classic style, refinement and finesse. I do not sound like Nat King Cole, but I give it all my best.
I play guitar and mandolin and banjo in a pinch, and I sing the songs you want to hear when you take me off the bench. Always take the high road, for it is wide and long, for it will truly lead you to the land of quiet songs. Yes, to the land of quiet songs.
Humanist, theist, agnostic, whatever. Join me in this very real and heartfelt blessing for our colleagues. Spirit of life, of joy, of music, of wisdom, of the great spiritual depth that calls to every one of us. Bless these women in exciting new chapters of life, in discovering what they might do when there aren't 15 other things to do. May their joy be profound in the years ahead. May they discover in this time great creativity and new insights into who they are and to how it is that they interacted in this world. For we know already what a great blessing they are. May they go forward in good health, or what's at least as close to it as they might get. May they have time to renew and restore. And may they be blessed with the energy to pursue everything that seems interesting and demanding. May they continue to teach as the moment seems right for them to do so. May they know that this congregation has deeply appreciated their service here. And may we, on behalf of all of the congregations they have served, send them off with deep gratitude for all of the faith and everything that they have given. They could not have given us more or better. And so we bless them. We send them off, letting them know we are loved, we are stronger, we are better because of who they have been with us and how they have reminded us of who we might become. My dear colleagues, our dear leaders, thank you. 1,000 thank yous will not be enough. But do know this, always, you will be in our minds and our hearts with great gratitude.
sorrow and pain still will remain, singing, calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
Good morning. I'm Jim Armstrong with the Share the Plate Committee. It's my pleasure this morning to tell you that the young people in our religious education program have selected the Share the Plate recipient for the month of June, and they've picked Caritas. Founded in 1987, Caritas has provided temporary and more permanent housing arrangements for families and individuals who find themselves homeless, along with case management services and other support services. Our church has partnered with Caritas over a number of years, and we remain a community partner supporting the work that they do. I want to thank you in advance for your generosity and support for this church and for the financial support of our Share the Plate recipients, and for the month of June for your financial support for Caritas. Thank you very much.
The wisest spiritual teachers have known the importance of music. Whether it's Vedic hymns or gospel, whether it's drumming of the Yoruba, or simply a symphony by Beethoven. There's something deeply spiritual in music that can move us. And for 15, soon 16 years, Diane Woodruff has been leading us in an understanding of the importance of music in worship and in life generally. Reverend Sue Cinnamon has been leading us in a voyage into understanding ourselves and our own inner life, a deep swim into the expression of self, deeply examined, and then often expressed in the arts. Our congregation has been totally blessed by these two women. We have been experiencing their great talents, which are really too numerous to mention. But I wanted to just take a bit of time today to name some of the things they have meant for this congregation. So I want you to think about some of these memories we might hold in common. When COVID came and we could no longer gather in person, it was Diane who had all kinds of ideas of how we could virtually represent our strong music program. So too with Reverend Sue. She immediately began adapting some of the principles of our small group ministry, of our practice groups and study groups, and was meeting daily with people. While the anxiety was so high, every day at noon you could check in with Reverend Sue and examine spiritual practice in a deep way. I mean, the kind of way so deep that you might actually change your life. That's not a surprise either. Reverend Sue studied Jungian psychology, and so she was always prepared to examine the shadow sides we bring forward, always willing to be nonplussed to find out that all of us possess great gifts and weaknesses which set a parameter around the effect of our lives. And her purpose was to expand that parameter. Diane also understood that spirituality is expressed in music, that people open themselves up when the music touches the heart and the mind. And so during her time here, she's adapted many different kinds of music, using the singers, individual performers, calling on guest musicians to help us perceive the eternal and the true in the music. And they brought other gifts as well. Diane adapts to just about anything. It doesn't matter if the lights flash or go out, if the microphones don't work. Still, she will find a way for us to enrich our service with music, and above all, her calm nature. No drama Diane is what I call her. Reverend Sue understands how organizations work, the dynamics within them, and where it is that people fail to discover the power and the strength they possess until they perceive it in one another. Reverend Sue and Diane have contributed an amazing solidness to our journey in this church. Diane for over 15 years, and Sue for over 6 years. We've been changed by having them here and their solid nature. They're going to be missed greatly as they proceed to a new chapter in life, and both of them are doing that. It's not that you're going to take up a rocking chair. They have ideas and dreams they want to see realized. In fact, I can see how happy both of them are about the new possibilities, the new chapters coming forward. And so this service was designed to help them put a bow on things. Yeah, I've had a spiritual director who told me that really good practice is to understand your life in chapters and not to get them all strung out together. To allow yourself to truly leave a job that you are leaving, the work you are leaving, the ministry you are leaving behind. To work hard to say what it was all about, and then to put a big bow on it and put it on the shelf and let it go. I think there's great wisdom in that. Now, that doesn't mean that either of them will give up the things that they have shared with us, the practices of ministry they've offered. Diane will still be a musician. Reverend Sue will still be a spiritual teacher. But they will do it apart from whom we are. And that is really important for us to understand. Things change. We don't think we will like them much at all. We can't imagine, and that's the real problem. We don't imagine that we can build upon what we've already been given by people, and that we honor them in so doing. We don't have to make comparisons. Everybody's different. Whoever is the next person will do a great job, but they must do the job that is theirs to do. We won't fully ever say goodbye to these two great women who have done so much for us. We will not ever fail to be curious about how they're doing and wishing them well. And for a fact, Diane will return to a position of membership in this congregation, not unlike the way Margaret Stokely has, after she was once music director as well. But we must make space for them to be those people in the new chapters of their lives. We must not imagine that we must pry from them their opinion of how we are changing, but rather give them a graceful and wonderful encouragement in the things they do now. That is the essential gift. I personally want to thank these two women who have contributed so much to the solidity, the reliability, and the beauty in this community. They've understood deeply all that community can have if it chooses, and provided us with the opportunity to pray, to dance, to sing, to write, to love, to forgive, and indeed, to follow one another in hope and in joy. I know we cannot replace these people, nor should we try. But we will bring on new faces, and they will want us to welcome them deeply. We hope this is the case as we go into the future, because any church that's been hanging out in Richmond since 1830 is going to have to change. Often, we get better, sometimes we fall behind. These are two women who helped advance our depth and understanding and the beauty that we experienced on Sundays and during the week. We are grateful beyond speaking. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Sue. Thank you, Diane Woodruff. We have been amazed at what you've taught us.
I find myself at the end of a journey that didn't start out to even be a journey. I simply agreed to direct the choir at the Congregational Unitarian Universalist Church in Woodstock, Illinois, way back when. But I found that bringing singers together to enrich UU worship through music was something I loved doing. Being a part of the UU faith gave me latitude to draw from all genres of music, and that made it easy to stay engaged and be creative. But here's the thing, I simply would have no work were it not for the willingness of others to join. And I've had the most wonderful companions over the years. I've been reminded of a song that we sing. The words are simply, "From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I've received so much, the trust of ministers, singers, and congregations to offer music that, through its elements and organization of sound, and with vocal music, its added poetry, to offer music that's meaningful and enhances and deepens the connection to the spoken word in music. It deepens our connection to each other and this faith. This was my intention every service. I've received the singers' time and attention over and over. I received singers' willingness to do the work, to grow as musicians, to improve skills that they need to be able to do the music that we enjoy. I've received the joy of seeing someone discovered an ability they may not know they had, or maybe sing a solo that they would not have dared do at one time. And I've seen the pride that they've had in a job well done. and I've also received the patience and forgiveness when I've fallen short. In giving, I have helped singers and musicians find their own strength and ability, have helped them see that one ensemble can bring together folks with many differing skills and abilities, and how an ensemble really is greater than the sum of the parts. How we can work really hard together and still have fun. I've brought music that is challenging, and yet when we've learned it is deeply rewarding. And at the beginning, there were times where they weren't sure about that. I've also given my humor and patience in approaching our work together. Going back to the song, together we share. We learn to rely on one another for energy, sometimes for the right note or for way of phrasing, to make music in the moment. When we're making music together, everything falls away. You have to focus on what's right here in the moment. Together, we also share in being vulnerable, in putting ourselves in front of all of the congregation. It's easier than being alone, but vulnerable nonetheless. But you have offered enthusiastic support and gratitude for what we offer. And together we share the joy in music made live and in person. And when we've finished all this, we begin again and do it another time. We found out that during the pandemic, when we couldn't be together, just how much we need and appreciate one another. How we fine-tune to another's voice. How sometimes we lead and sometimes we follow. How we're part of a whole and we find our place in it. As we go along in this music making process, there's a time when all the moving parts come together in a moment that's deep and emotional. Our intention is that this peak moment will happen during our worship singing, but not always. It doesn't always happen, but we're grateful to have felt it no matter when it's come, even in rehearsal, for it can be a fleeting but magical thing. And now that this journey is ending, for me, a new one begins for us all. We have the opportunity to be open to new possibilities, to always be grateful for what was, and maybe we long for a little bit of it, but it's exciting to explore new ideas, new ways of doing, meeting new people, and just seeing what can happen. I want to thank everybody who has joined me, especially here at First U, especially Elliot Norman as my accompanist first, and then Jamie Kilpatrick. She's solid, and we're grateful that her journey led her to this door. My deepest thanks to Reverend Jeanne, Reverend Sherman, Reverend Sue, because I've learned so much from them. And my deepest thanks for all of you for expressing your gratitude for what I've done. Thank you all so much, and I'm excited to see the next step of the way. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Drew Fridley, and today I'm honoring Diane Woodruff and Sue Cinnamon, as I've had a good experience with both of them throughout their time here and my time here at First UU. As Ravi Shankar put it, when asked if music is essentially spiritual, the highest form in music is spirituality. When it is, the effect on us, our thoughts, our emotions, our subconscious, and even our physical well-being can be quite profound.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use